Oh, that was not too bad, but look, I came from Alicante. I took a plane. I was holding for 2 days the tension of speaking at the end of the conference. So please, give me a bit more energy. Do you want to have fun or not? Yes. Awesome. I have bad news. I'm sorry, but this is not a comedy show. It's a technical talk, so it's supposed to be boring. I mean, how fun is that someone comes here and says, I will show you Pinia for your state management. Right? I think Eduardo will kill me after that, but I understand. It's almost the end of the conference, so let's keep it as entertaining as possible. And for that, I will interact with you all most of the time. OK, not most of the time. I will be the one talking, not you. But I will need lights in the audience, so let's try this. Lights on? Oh, good. Lights off? Lights on? Lights off? Big applause for the lights team. OK, let's get serious. So we will talk about DX. And lights on? Yes. I want to ask you first. How many of you do you think you know about DX? Ooh, I expected more people. OK, keep the hands there. How many of you do you really think you know about DX? How many of you do you think you really, really know about DX? Oh, now new hands. I love it. OK, DX. So to talk about DX, I will first show you, or I think it's better to talk about some examples. But before that, let me tell you. 2 months ago, I was in CityJS London, and I was in the booth with my colleague Arisa. And one guy came, and after talking a bit, he gave me this contact card, which said, hey, I'm Dan, and I build tools that people love. I build tools that people love. That has a lot to do, thank you for the lights. That has a lot to do with developer experience. And maybe Dan is a DX expert, and he doesn't know it, but let's find out together. The funny fact is that the last week I saw him in Athens, in CityJS Athens. I came across him in the Acropolis up there, and I said, hey, Dan, you will be my main character of my next talk. So Dan, wherever you are about to get famous. I'm Alex Jover. I'm developer relations at Storyblok, and also Vue.js creator. In case you don't know Vue.js, it's a website where I share tips and tricks about Vue and Nuxt. And maybe you also know me by my book, or maybe by organizing Alicante Frontend and Vue Day. In any case, if you ever go to Alicante or Spain, please let me know. We can have some fun over there. And now, talking about DX, I don't want to bore you with myself. I think we can start by this question. What do you think these 3 things have in common? Creating a website with jQuery. Second, adding a button to a WordPress site. Or third, taking the Berlin metro line. All of them are slow. Maybe. But let me tell you a story. Who from here is from Berlin? Lights on, please. We have a few people in there. In there? OK. OK. Let's talk later, but please upgrade your metro line in Berlin. Please do that. I was in Berlin 3 years ago. I went to give a training to a company, and I went to the metro line. I needed to go from point A to point B. So I went to the metro station, and this is the machine I saw to get the ticket. So I got there, and the first question the machine asked me was, what zone or area are you traveling to? Area E, B, C, Metropolitan, D, F? I don't know. I know where Google Maps is saying me to go. So I started to become stressed. I had to get some help, and they got me the right ticket, so I got the ticket, and I went to the metro. I was sitting there, and 5 minutes later, the conductor came to ask for my ticket. So I said, of course, here you have it, sir. He was looking at the ticket, looking at me, at the ticket, at me. And then he told me, I'm sorry, sir, but you have to come with me in the next stop. I was like, wait, no. I mean, there are 5 more stops I need to go to. What are you talking about? He told me, you didn't validate the ticket. You show me your ID card, and please come with me. So I was like, wait. I bought the ticket 5 minutes ago. What are you saying? Apparently, there is this little box in the left that says, please validate ticket here. So actually, the ticket is a piece of paper that you put in the machine, and it stamps a date on it. I mean, I think in Hogwarts, they have better technology than that. I'm sorry for the Berlin people, but I had to pay 70 euros for that ticket. It was the most expensive ticket in my life. Yeah, you are laughing a lot. I think you do that in purpose for the foreigners, right? So, again, what these three things have in common? I can tell you in one sentence. It's hard to reach your goal in a pleasant way, meaning that the experience is you can get frustrated, you can get angry, you can get mad, you can get sad. You are not happy at the end. And a more technical example is this. Lights on. Oh, they're super fast. I love it. How many in this room use Webpack 1? Are you new in the web development? I don't see many hands. You never use Webpack 1. I don't believe it. No? OK, for the very few people, I think you know the pain. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a whole Webpack 1 file that I created for a Vue app when I was working in another company a few years ago. It was hundreds of lines of code, and it took like almost a week. And if you think about it, we almost need the same things for every application. For development, we need a live server that compiles everything super fast. You can switch off the lights. Thank you. So that it compiles everything very fast, that when you save the file, it's there as fast as possible. But for production, we need to optimize our assets, compile all the CSS, code splitting, minifying the code. Why do we need to repeat all this configuration every time? Doesn't this feel like monkey job? This is how it is nowadays in Vue. It's just 5 lines of code, and it's always the same 5 lines of code in every framework, in Vue, React, JSWORLD, whatever. Another really good example is Nuxt 3. Lights on. How many from this room tried Nuxt 3? I expect that. Oh, nice, nice. Awesome. Big applause for the Nuxt team. Mostly everybody. Sebastian, if you are in the room, let's talk later about the commission, OK? Let me ask you something. For the ones that tried it, how would you describe the experience of using it? Tell me in one word. One word. Awesome? More? More? One word? You tried it? No? Tell me one more word, please. I can stay here like until you say more words. Fast? Awesome? Amazing? OK. Those are actually words that describe a good DX, and they will go on the lines of fast, fun, amazing. I didn't read your minds, I can promise. I didn't use that power yet. Maybe unstable. I can feel that pain also. But at the end, the experience is lovable. Like, you love how it feels using it, right? And here is the thing. Maybe by this point of the talk, you already know that developer experience is like it's user experience where the user is a developer, meaning you or me. And how can we make tools that people love, like Dan said? First, you should know your user's goal. And then you have to make it feel like magic reaching that goal. And how can you make it feel like magic? We can summarize it in 3 keys. 1, it has to be as easy to use that the user doesn't notice. Second, shorten the steps from point 0 to the goal as much as possible. And 3, make it consistent in the different variations or technologies that for the tool you are building. And now the question is, how can we measure it? Because it's very subjective to measure DX. Well, I got the best tool in the world. It's the magic meter. A very good DX should make you feel like, whoa, like this feeling. And a very bad a very bad developer experience should be this boo feeling, like you never want to use it again. So how it is? Good developer experience? Bad developer experience? Bad developer experience? Good developer experience? Yes, yes, awesome, you got it. OK, now we know how to measure it, we know the keys. How is this in a real-world project? Let me tell you the story of the Storyblok SDKs, which was a real-world journey into the DX. How many here tried Storyblok already? Nice. More hands than I expected. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I hope after this talk, maybe you are more interested. For the ones that didn't try it yet, Storyblok is a headless CMS with a visual editor, meaning that you can create all your components in Vue, in Nuxt, and you have full control of the website. But in a Storyblok, you will have this visual editor that if you work with marketeers or content editors, they can pull in the components you created in a very fancy way, like drag and drop and everything. So it requires some initial setup. And in the past, it required a few steps. It requires some work. Specifically, it required an initial setup that was installing an SDK client to get the data from the Storyblok API, installing a dollar library to listen for the visual editor changes to enable that real-time experience. You also need to install a Vue plugin to connect the Vue components to the Storyblok component. You had to load all the components dynamically. And on top of that, you had to put a lot of manual code to connect all the dots together. I've been using Storyblok for 2 years before joining the company. And also, I was an ambassador before. When I use it, I love the product, but I was like having this feeling of, why does it have to do like this every time? Like, you have to do all of that when you create every new application. So I was feeling like Homer Simpson trying to smash everything around. And then that feeling is what led us to think, how can we make it easier for anyone that wants to create a Vue, Nuxt, React, whatever project to connect it to Storyblok? Well, you know already the process. So first step was to think about what was the goal of a Storyblok user. And at first, it is to connect Storyblok with Vue or Nuxt as easy and as fast as possible. Step 2, we analyze the user journey. And specifically, keep in mind the 3 keys. How can we make it as easy as possible? How can we shorten the steps to reach that goal? And how can we make it consistent across the different technologies we have? So that was the race of Storyblok SDKs. And now we have for everything, React, Gatsby, Nuxt 2, Nuxt 3, Vue 2, Vue 3, which, by the way, is a mess to keep all those Vue and Nuxt versions. But we have them out there. We also have for Svelte and JavaScript. And I want to tell you how it is today to connect Nuxt 3 to Storyblok. And it's actually 3 simple steps. The first one, you will install the Storyblok Nuxt 3 library. And second, you will add it to your Nuxt config modules, passing the access token that you will get from the Storyblok space when you create it. Second step, you will create every Vue component for every Storyblok component that you allow in the visual editor to use. For that, in Nuxt 3, you can put them all in a Storyblok folder in the root of the project, and they will be auto-imported and discovered automatically. And they all will receive a block property that is coming from the Storyblok API. The only thing you have to do in these components is making sure you are adding the vue-editable directive, which is available in the whole app, in the root of the project. And third step, only 2 lines of code. With the user Storyblok composable, you pass the Slack, and you will get the story from the API. And also, it will automatically listen for the visual editor changes and adapt the story automatically. And with the Storyblok component, you just pass the Storyblok content, and everything renders automatically. So I know this might make sense, Alex, but can we see it in a real project? Do you want to see a demo or not? Yeah, I like it. Yes or not? That's better. Awesome. So actually, I will show you the same demo that we have in Storyblok. We have demo for all the SDKs, so you can use it as a starter for your project. And maybe it looks so small, or it's good. I will just, in any case, make it a bit bigger. So the steps. You can see on the right side, this is a page that is coming from Storyblok, so it's actually a real web page. And the steps are exactly the same that you see. So you will install Storyblok Nuxt, make sure it's version 4 or higher. Second, you will add it to your modules, passing the access token that I got from the Storyblok space. Third, you will create all the components that you allow to use in the visual editor. And as you can see, all of them, they have this block property and the vue-editable. And last but not least, in this case, I only have this home page. but I'm using the use Storyblok to retrieve the home page and passing the content using the Storyblok component. How does this look in the visual editor? So actually, maybe it's too small. Let me also put it a bit higher. Yeah. But actually, I loaded here. You can see this is the URL from the established demo, as you can see. Well, this is how it works. So this is your preview website, and you will be able to click around. You see that the right component will open in the right panel. And from this point, you can just change everything, and all the live changes in that moment will happen automatically. Of course, you can click on the grid. You can copy and paste all of this. And basically, you have all the control of your website, but your content editors and marketeers, they can come here, and they don't depend on you. They can create a whole website and compose it just following those steps. Now, let me go back to the slides. And yes. And if this was cool, how cool can be if it's the same in all the technologies? So we are in a Vue conference, but maybe some people here try React. As you can see in the code, the user journey is mostly the same in all the SDKs we have. It just changes that we use every framework features and syntax to make the most of it. So the Vue and React code should be mostly similar using both syntaxes. Are the DX keys met in this SDKs project, let's say? Well, I think it's easier to use than it was before. We shortened the steps to 3 simple steps compared to before, and also we made it consistent in all the different technologies. But most important, how does it feel, the magic meter? Whoa! Awesome, awesome, I love it. Good, so this all started like some improvements on one SDK, which was the Nuxt 2, is the first we had. But these days, we have a whole SDK ecosystem, which is maintained by a development team. In my case, and in the case of Manuel, who is over there, we maintain the Vue libraries, and our colleagues, which are more specialized in React and Svelte, we all maintain our own libraries, let's say. What are the next steps? We will be adding TypeScript support in the coming weeks. We already have in the JavaScript library, but give it 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe we will have them also there. We are also considering on implementing Astro and Angular SDKs. Actually, we are here in the community, so if you think it's important to have them, please let us know, so we will give more importance to them. And I know that all of this actually happened very recently, so docs are lagging behind. But we are working on that. Actually, most of the articles we publish in our website, they should be updated. And we will be working on a quick start page, which should be a very quick way, one page that you will find very interactive with code to copy-paste. And just while your colleague has a coffee, you will start your Vue, Nuxt, or any technology project with Storyblok. Something I want to say out loud to all the companies, and it is that developer experience is also one of the best strategies to attract developers. And it plays very well with other marketing strategies. So I want you, when you get out of this talk, if you go back to your company or you work by yourself, if you work in a product or a tool that developers use, please make DX the best as possible, because you will attract a lot of developers. Have you seen Nuxt 3 doing like big assignments or something? I don't think so. They just created a super cool product. And yeah, it reaches to the developers just by that. So if this was like too simple, yeah, I can agree. But we have also the Storyblok Nuxt Ultimate tutorial, which is a 7-part series that actually my colleague Manuel wrote recently. We want to publish recently, also like lately, and we didn't publish yet, I guess. Let's find out now. What's a better way than find out that being live in a stage, right? I mean, OK, it's not published. Good, no problem. We can publish it now because I have it open here in the visual editor. So yeah, I know. We in Storyblok, we use Storyblok for Storyblok. So we are dog feeders, I guess. But I mean, If you don't use your product, how will you use it, right? So all you need to publish something in Storyblok, you click this button. It says it's published. So if we reload, there you go. Big applause for Manuel, please. I hope you enjoy it. Next, we also created an Ash3 cheat sheet. And actually, we printed yesterday like in a rush. So if you can have it online, but you also have it printed all around the table, so if you don't have it, please make sure to get it. And now I want to solve the 1 million questions everyone in the world has, which is, a Storyblok is not a storybook. We know we use the same font for the logos. Only one letter, one character changes. Even the logos, they look similar, but one has the B and another the S, but they are not the same. No. Actually, Storyblok is really, really cool product, and the team is amazing. They should be over there. So make sure you meet Jan and the team. And last but not least, I want to tell you that we really can support you. We have an ambassador program. We have nice perks in there. We are redesigning the whole program, so it will be some kind of ambassador V2. I was an ambassador before. We also have a sponsorship program, so maybe you have a YouTube channel, newsletter, you talk about Vue and Nuxt, maybe we can support you also financially. Actually, Alba and Alvaro, which are ambassadors, and we are also proudly sponsoring Alvaro, should be over there. So big applause also for them. Oh, there they are. Also, we are hiring, so if you want to work in my team, you're welcome. The only requirement is you should be able to do handstats in every conference we go to. But if you don't know how, Manuel will teach you. So that's it. We really love being healthy, having fun in the team, and we really love supporting the community. And this is because we are devs, we are there, and we will be there. Thank you very much.